booking a hotel in Concur via the travel option, that is the online booking tool. So trip search and travel actually are one and the same. So from the Concur homepage, we can book a hotel. Prior to booking, ensure that you have discussed your travel arrangements with your supervisor or manager. So I'm clicking on hotel and I want to book hotel, so I'm selecting the date. You can select whether you want a hotel within a certain distance near an airport, a company location, a specific address, or a reference point. So I will enter Sydney and click on search. It will verify the location. It will then search for hotels that are available based on the date that I have entered. So this is a map of Sydney with the hotels that it has provided, and you can zoom in and out. So if I scroll down, I can see a number of hotels. So you can actually go down and there's a number of hotels. You can actually continue on to search. From the top of the list, this hotel has the diamond symbols, which indicate that it is a most preferred supplier, most preferred hotel. So I will click on and select this hotel. And so I'm selecting the room. So this screen is the review and reserve hotel screen. So I just need to check that the dates are correct. I can enter hotel program information here if I need to. And I need to agree to the hotel's rules, regulations, and cancellation policy. Click on reserve hotel and continue. So this is the travel details with the check-in times for the hotel. Click on next. So I could add a trip description here or enter an email address if I wanted to there. Click on next. Review the information and confirm the booking. This will now take us to the request screen. So the request screen has pre-filled information, so I don't need to enter that again. It does have number of private days, which I would need to complete if there were private days in this trip. The red fields are mandatory fields, they need to be completed. The travel purpose, you can select from the drop-down menu. And then these are the risk questions that need to be answered. Once these fields are complete, you can then move on to the next tab. The segments tab will have the information that was previously entered. So it will pre-fill the hotel, which is the segment. So a segment is either a flight, a car booking, a hotel, or a rail booking. So this information has pre-filled. I don't need to do anything on this tab. So I could just go straight to the expenses tab. And here I need to add any other expenses and allocate. So the first thing I need to do is add the expenses. So I'm going to add conference fee and save, and meals overnight travel and save. So add all the expenses first and then allocate. So now that I've entered all the expenses, so these are anticipated expenses. You could add taxi if you knew that that was going to be part of the overall cost of the trip. So I'm going to click on an expense and allocate. So in this case, I'm going to allocate the conference fee. This is a UWA funded. The business unit, I can select from the drop-down list. I could select a previously used combination of BU and PG. I could enter some text, or I can enter a code. To search for the business unit. The same applies for the PG. I'm going to select from the drop-down list. The account category, in this case it's a conference fee, so that will come under other, and the account code is conference and course fees. I will then save that expense allocation. So the expenses do need to be allocated prior to submitting. And they need to be correct. They cannot be modified or changed once you have submitted. So I will now allocate the accommodation. So the account category in this case is accommodation, and the account code is domestic trip, and save. And now I want to allocate meals. So I'll click on meals, allocate the selected expense, funded by UWA. The BUPG, I will use the same BUPG combination. I cannot allocate them all at the same time because the codes are different for each of these. So this is for meals, which comes under other. And the account code is meals overnight, and save. So once that is completely allocated, I can then submit the request. This is an online booking tool. Once I click on submit, that will go through directly to the travel agent and it will be booked. So there are cancellation costs possibly involved depending on the hotel that you've selected. So it's very important if you're using this tool to ensure that you are booking and you intend booking and keeping the booking. So once you submit, that will go through because this is an online booking tool. So just to recap, that the allocation of expenses must be completed correctly prior to submitting. So probably best to get that information before actually making your booking. And that completes booking a hotel.